Hey everybody, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit, and this is just a small Pringles can like you get at the gas station or wherever you get your small Pringle cans. And I want to turn this into kind of a cool junk tower that I can use just as any kind of generic terrain and as a tower if necessary, you know. But I could just throw it down on the ground, and I could use it, you know, in this way as a tower or this way to not it rolling with a flat platform to use as like a piece of like scatter. So I'm not going to use a base. So that's going to make it a little different than how I normally do things. Let's start by getting some cardboard. And figuring out where to make it not roll. And I think the easiest thing to do, let me get a flat edge here so I'm not cutting crazy. I'm just going to use the natural kind of shape of that box, and then I'm just going to freestyle a few cuts here. Now that I have a good straightish edge. Yeah, I'm just going to get a couple of those, and I'm going to make some I-beams. And I don't need that folded part at the top for what I'm doing. So I'm going to snip that off. So making I-beams is pretty easy, I guess. I haven't really done it. I just thought about it because I was looking at some of the terrain I've made, and I don't have anything that is got I-beams on it for some reason. All the stuff I've made in this, you know, dystopian kind of thing, none of it has I-beams. So I'm going to get some cardboard here, just like that. I'm going to cut this off about the length I want my I-beam. And then I'm going to get some glue, and I'm going to do up some I-beams. And all I'm going to do is kind of shove that in the middle the best I can and get it to stick. I'm going to snip off my excess. This is not a very strong I-beam, so that was not good cardboard to use. Alright, plan B. Let's get some thicker stuff. This is from a coffee box. It's definitely stronger. Use that natural edge to find a straight spot. Well, that was terrible. Oh well, it happens. I'm just going to eyeball the rest of my cuts. Oops. Oh, flying pieces of cardboard. Dang it, cardboard everywhere. I haven't made a video for a couple days. I've been working weird, covering for an employee who was on a trip, and we didn't have enough coverage, so I had to go do it. And then I got home yesterday, and I was like, it is too cold to record a video, even though I have a few hours to be awake yet. And I decided I didn't want to be in the freezing cold garage, because we're having a blizzard here on the East Coast, kind of. I don't know if it's a true blizzard or not. Seems like a blizzard. I'm not a blizzard expert, if I'm going to be honest with you. Get two that are about the same size. Shove those together. Here we go. This is going to be a better I-beam already. I can smell it. About the length I want my I-beam to be. This is already turning out better than the first one. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. 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 Something like that. And you could probably make it better than I did. That's just how I made mine. It's going to be sturdy, and it looks kind of futuristic already because it's got weird patterns on the sides instead of being, you know, whatevs. I'm just going to cover those little holes up on the end because I don't like the way they look. You can leave yours if you want. I'm going to set that off to the side. Where do I put my can? My Pringles can. Okay, so I don't want my Pringles can rolling. So what I was thinking is that I would have my I-beam kind of as one of my things that stops it from rolling. And then when it's sitting up, it's just, you know, a decorative kind of thing. So I'm going to get my I-beam. I'm just going to glue it on there just like that. It doesn't have to be perfect, and that's going to be one of my things that stops it from rolling. And I don't know what I'm going to do on the other side yet. Also, I have this extra piece of cardboard that I already cut. So I'm just going to run that down along the side. Like that. Now this is the top, so my I-beam actually doesn't go to the ground, it comes to the top. So that means we're going to use it in some of the construction of the platform in some way. Alright, so to make this better, more gooder, I'm just going to take some cardstock and I'm going to cut some different pieces to look like metal plating, and I'm going to curve those a little bit. That does two things. One, it makes it easier to stick on there, and two, it does, those little cracks in the cardboard do add some kind of little texture to break up the monotony of the build. So I'm going to get these on here. Let's see how they look. Using cardboard in all the wrong places. Well, my spleen. Something like that. Carrot bird. Alright, and now let's just add all the little cardboard pieces we want to in different spots to give it some different layers and texture. And you can use cardboard or whatever you have to give it kind of a futuristic techno-y look. I have a bunch of cardboard cut up here, so this is perfect. This is one of those double ones that got cut off. I'm going to shove that on here. It'll be thick and sturdy. Let's get some sprue. I think that'd be cool at this point. Mount some sprue on here. Let me get my cutters instead of using that scissors there. So the sprue is just going to add some interesting detail. I don't need to do much with that sprue to make it good. I just need to get it on there. So let's see if we can use the sprue as our piece that stops it from moving this direction. I think we can if we get it on here about like that. I'm going to get just a little bit in there to get a better bond. And just shove it in there and then grind it in with my gun a little bit. That's all I'm doing. Nothing too fancy. You don't need any particular artistic talent for this. I'm going to just turn my... We'll burn off any spider webs we made doing that. Just like that. Okay, our tower doesn't rock back and forth easily. A little bit. Yeah, that's not sturdy enough for if there's a miniature on there. So here's what we can do. Get a piece of curd bird. We're going to get that to where it sits on there. Get a good surface to where it's bonded and strong. We'll do one there. And then we're going to do the same thing here. Let those cool, and then we'll cut those off closer down to where the glue connects. So I'm just going to come here, and I'm going to look where that one was. I'm going to eyeball it, just like that. Then to make that look like it has a purpose, yep, you guessed it, I'm going to get some, well, you didn't guess it, I guessed it. Something like that. Snip that off at the top. Then I'm going to run some glue in there to make sure that's sturdy. Then I'm just going to run my glue back through. Just like I do. Sweet. It's already starting to look kind of techno and different and cool. We can just add some different thicknesses of cardboard on here. That one's not sturdy. I learned that the hard way. And just keep filling this out and making it look interesting. Straws were cool. These foam letters might be cool. Pardon me. Let's see. I don't know how well these will stick to this. We'll see. They might stick good. Might stick terribly. Stick well. Stick very well. We'll use this W here, or M, or whatever it is. And we'll just stick that on there and hope it stays. Oh, that was a mistake. Big mistake. Ow, ow, ow. All right, let's try it again. What I got here. Oh, dude, look at that. Another W or M. Perfect. I'm worried about that not sticking, so I'm going to help it. Help it be a little more permanent. Okay, now for the top here, we need some scrap to put up there to kind of cover this metal, because the spray paint will not stick to that metal well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece like this and kind of get it in place. And you should probably prep this by sanding it or something first. I did not. I'm going to get that there, and I'm going to let it kind of cool. And then I'm going to snip off some of this extra gunk. And then I'm just going to glue this on. And hope that I can kind of cover things up and make it look decent. All right, snip off our extra gunk, our extra pieces. Like that. And then just getting one more piece across here to make this a little sturdier might be wise. I'll use this thicker stuff I have here. if I like the way that looks. We'll have to figure that out. I don't know how sturdy those are going to be. I am going to get some glue and shove. Let me get more glue. Shove it down in there like that. Kind of get some more bond. Sturdy that up. Just like that. Okay, now I want a, my mat pops up there for some reason, it irks me. I want a platform up here for sure. Is that this piece causing all this ruckus? Let's smush that down. I think that's causing problems. Okay, it was that piece. All right. Now I want a platform up here. I want my platform to be pretty easy to work with and pretty simple. So my platform is just going to be some pieces of cardboard. And some granny grating. Do I have granny grating laying around? Yeah, I do. All right, cool. Cool. Now, the granny grating is not super sturdy. Sometimes, I've noticed. So I'm going to get some cardstock from the cereal box. And I am going to sturdy this thing up. So to sturdy it up, I'm going to get a little bit of glue right there like that. And I'm going to stick this to the edge just like that. There we go. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, 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 boop. Then I'm just going to dry fit that real quick. Look at that. Just like that. Stoop-a-doop. Making a piece for my walkway, baby. And this is going to make our walkway just a little more interesting anyways. Okay, and now you can easily put minis on that. Should be sturdy and decent for what it needs to be. All right, is there a ladder to get up there? No, there's not. Does there need to be a ladder? Not really. We can simulate a ladder, though, or any kind of walkway pretty easily by finding there's no spots left to make a ladder. All right, we're going to simulate a spot to make a ladder. So to make our ladder, we're just going to alternate using pieces of whatever the hell we have. So I'm just going to snip off some sprue parts and use a piece of the sprue for this. Right there. Oh wait, we can't put it there. I already know that. Never mind. The ladder can't be on the underside because it interrupts with the workings of that. So we'll do the ladder here against this spoon or straw. And we'll just use this. Okay, simulate a ladder going up the side. Not actually functional, just for play. Just for, you know, to not play, I'm sorry, to just for theater, to show that there is a way up and down. And I'm just making these different links. And using a similar interval. Doesn't have to be perfect. Hooray, boy, they're waiting there for you. So that's how they would get up here to this. Do we need a railing up here? Well, simple answer is no. But wouldn't it look cool? Let's see what we can come up with. Let me get this. And it's not going to be a full railing. I'm going to get this. I'm going to shove that there into against that I-beam. I'm going to drag it around a little bit so it gets good and solid. I'm going to do the same thing and work my way around. Just making supports for this railing. I want a good bond. I want it to be sturdy. Okay. And when this is in the down position, the railing will just be, you know, part of the train. We're just going to have it on this little portion here. Seems like I'm using a lot of glue, and you're probably right. I am. That's okay. I want it to be sturdy. Piece of sprue for this last part, so I don't have to find another pops or another skewer. Well, they're not hard to find. I know where they're at, but you know what I mean. I'm just going to come over here, I'm going to sturdy those up, make some terrible weld marks made by people that are just not professionals, and sturdy that up some so this doesn't pop off my piece. Okay, and then for my railing, I'm just going to curve this cardboard. I'm going to glue it across these pieces. A little slaggedy. That's not a real word, I don't think. Just a little like that. So I snip that off there. I kind of want that to come over more, so let's get one more piece of anything we can find, which will be this toothpick. Just like that. Come on, buddy, stick. A little bit of glue. Boop, 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 ba-doo. Okay. Let that settle for a second and cool. Thank God it's nice and cold in the old garage ski here. I don't want anything sticking up on this for some reason. I've decided I'm going to cut all that off. Okay. It's pretty sturdy and pretty good. Let's get rid of this spider webs. Spider webs. I think it's all spider webs. or at least most of them. Okay, let's check our fit for our mini. I mean, we know he's going to fit up here. You could probably fit 5 or 6 up here, you know, depending on the bases, maybe 3 or 4. But so you have the simulated ladder going up. That works well. A little bit of spider web we didn't get. That's okay. You have the walkway, so whenever it's on its side, so this can double as scatter. So you can put it any way you need it to besides this way, pretty much. I'm pretty happy. Really like to decorate it a little bit more, though, because I'm having fun making it. So let's get a piece of cardstock, put a little divot in it, get some stupid glue, just like a deet. Get my little horrible gem beads that I never put away from last time. These are from those gem paintings that you get at Walmart or wherever. My wife and my mom both do them, so whenever they have leftover colors, I inherit those little patches. Or if they get one that they don't ever do or whatever, I get to keep all these. So I have little baggies of these. We're just going to bolt these on with these nice little rivets. It's gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. God bless the rains down in, or God bless the rains down in West by God. Down in West by God. We could put little mushrooms on the side of this with a hot glue gun if we wanted to. Come on, buddy. Come on, get up there. There we go. Look. You bastard. There we go. All right. There was another panel. Oh, it's going to be hard to do this one. Maybe let's just do part of it. And let's do some rivets. Oops. Up there. Happy little rivets. Is there anywhere else that you think a rivet would look really good? You don't just want a rivet to rivet. You want it to look like it's supposed to be there, like it's telling a story. You don't just rivet to rivet unless you enjoy riveting. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Come on. Get out of there. There we go. Oh, you bad word. Son of a damn it. There's rumors that one of the viewers keeps track of all of these that I lose in glue and have to throw and stuff. I know who you are. Let's just, I know it's been a long time. It's probably a half hour. 29:55, yeah. But I'm just having a lot of fun doing this. And sometimes nice, soothing craft stuff is worth taking the time to enjoy. I don't really have any good ways to decompress anymore besides crafting. So a lot of the stuff I did otherwise I haven't been doing. I had a pretty heavy work week. You know what I think would look good is a tiny little piece of cardstock. On here. Come on, get off there. There we go. Let's straighten that out. Oh, not cool. Not cool. All right, so you could do some other little finishing touch work anywhere you wanted. Like my platforms are a little boring. All you got to do to make them less boring, grab a little cardstock and a little bit of glue. Put it on there. Straighten it out a little bit. Keep it a little bit off the edge. And that's an easy way to make tons of just different looking detail and something you can paint a different color that's going to stick out nicely. And you can do that pretty much wherever you want. You don't have to use super glue for that. I'll just demonstrate quickly here with a little bit of hot glue on the edge of that one. And it just gives it a different look, you know. You could cut little panels to fit on the inside like that, and it's still gonna make a miniature not fall off there, but it gives it just different looks. And you can do that anywhere you want to just make things a little different. I think it would look cool to do that. You could do something like this to break it up a little bit. Say you thought this was kind of ugly right here and you wanted to hide that, you can. Just get a couple pieces of cardboard and curl them. Get it on here. Cover up any joints you don't like. See, that worked out pretty easily. Didn't take a lot of work. Looks interesting, looks different. Doesn't interfere with this, which is the big thing. We can use it that way. Or we can pop it up and use it that way. So let's clear this off. How do we paint this? Well, you can mount this to a base, but I think the easiest thing to do instead of mounting it to a base would just be to get like a stick or something to put up inside here. Like some rolled up cardboard would work. Like you could even get something like this and make yourself a bit of a painting handle to hold on to. Which is what I'll do. Hold on real quick. I'll grab some paint and do this real quick. Let me grab a paint. Oh, that's bleeding. If you're watching, Jason, I just want you to know my blood hurts. Ow, my blood. My blood has been hurted. Paint handle. Now I'm using the black, then I'm gonna hit it with primer red. It's a little bit thick. Spray paint does not work well in the cold. Now I have not hit it with a lot of primer red. Just in some spots. See that? Just to give it some variation. Let's switch hands. Oh, my painting handle is not very long. Let's hot air gun this bad boy. A lot of overspray. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that for the most part. Let's get going here. Doesn't need to be perfectly dry, just needs to be dryish to work on. Let's grab a piece of cardboard, grab a crappy brush, let's grab some dark brown paint. Thank God I didn't clean up after last time. Now, right now, you could probably use this tabletop after it dries, and it would be okay. It really wouldn't be a problem. I'm going to get a metallic, like a gold color or copper or something. I found copper, antique copper. Pardon me, I burped a little bit. I'm going to get my copper and my dark brown. And I'm mostly worried on getting the main body. Getting there. This is a crappy brush, so if there's any paint that didn't dry, it's not going to hurt me or kill me to get it on this brush. It's just going to be kind of interesting. Won't be the end of the world as we know it. And it'll just mix in there. And the reason that we used a two-tone undercoat is because if we do a crappy job anywhere, there's still going to be some variation. Okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. All right, that's kind of what we wanted. All right, then we're going to come back and we're going to get that dark brown. We're going to hit these I-beams. It's going to have a little bit of that metallic in it, but we don't want our I-beams to have a black base coat. We want them to have a rust color underneath. Not too much black showing. And that's going to be the same with like metal plates and stuff too. Just kind of make them brown-ish, not so they're not all black underneath. Hit these plates up with it. Okay. Like I said, there's a little bit of metallic in there still, so, you know, it's not perfect, but it's definitely going to cover up and get rid of the generic black look. And I'm using the mix again of more metallic than brown to do my top platform. Okay, let's dry this off. So let's get that, and let's get a lighter brown this time. I'm just going to grab any kind of light brown I find. Mine I found is chestnut. This is lighter. It's got a little bit of an orangish to it. Get you a soft makeup brush, something like this. Get a little bit of your metal and your that. Mix it in there and lighten that up some. Okay. Maybe a little bit more metal. Then you want to get a lot of that off your brush. Come up in here. Hit all your sticky uppy stuff and a little bit in the cracks there. Just cause some variation. I want to hit my I-beam pretty good. Any of my other sticky up stuff that I can find. Then I get a little bit of that brown. Come and hit some of that again. Put a little bit less metallic in it. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, now leave that there. Oh, I'm going to hit this up a little bit. Just give it some different color. Okay. Now we're going to get that light brown predominantly by itself. Mix it in with what's left. I want to lighten that up a little bit more, actually. That's almost empty. I have a beige color here, but I think it might be a little bit wet. Yeah, it's a little bit wet. Okay. All right, now I want to hit around edges and sticky up stuff. Get my I-beam kind of speckled and good. Hit my M. These plates, just dab them up. And this is going to create now. You could stop here. Honestly, this is cool. You could totally use this for your terrain, but I want some different color on mine. Okay. Cool. All right. Let's get a new piece of cardboard. I knew I just mean one I've used already. Let's add some color. Undersaturated colors are probably best. This is an ugly blue. I'm just getting a small brush. Some water, dirty water on my brush. I'm going to paint some of this stuff. Just like that. So there's some of that crusty blue. And that undercoat's going to show through a little bit because this is pretty watered down and there's a two-tone on the undercoat. You don't want to paint and like re-wet what you've been working on. You just want to give it that blue tint. All right. Now I'm done with my blue. Rinse out my brush and grab a different color. I'm going to get a green. And if these colors are a little watered down, it's better. But if they're not, you can just water them down like I'm doing. You want to make that milky kind of, like skim milk kind of color. You don't have to do it this way. I paint all kind of different ways. This is just how I want to do this. You can do it however you want. This is just today how I'm doing it. I wouldn't have done this yesterday, maybe. I just like to get in different moods and try different stuff. I'm going to do one of these panels in the green. I don't want it to be great. I'm going to do the top part of that panel in blue, mixed with green. Just like that. Let's get another color. Maybe red. That's really thick. So I'm going to need my brush to be extra wet with my dirty wet water here. Dirty wash water. Get that kind of like skim milk consistency. Just like that. So when it dries, you can see the work we put underneath with the 2 tones. Or 3 tones, or whatever tones it may have been. Okay. I really like the way the red looks on here. A lot. So, and it is my favorite color, so I will be using quite a bit of red. Is there any, yeah, here we go. Look at this bad boy. Perfect, perfect for red. I'm going to get that red and that blue, make a disgusting kind of purple. I'm going to hit my M with that purple too while I'm down here. And I'm going to get my brush, I'll take some of that green, some of that red. There we go. Water it down. Make like a peachy kind of orange maybe, or a melon kind of orange. I don't know what color that would be. But we're just going to give ourselves some variation on here. Is all I'm doing. Okay, let's set this down, dry it off. Now, let's bring this up here, see if you guys can see what happens. So see how when you use that watered down paint, and it's not saturated like that, you can see the different colors kind of popping out underneath the different tones. So we've added colors to this and made it not so incredibly vivid and bright because it's been out in the scraplands, but you know, it's still interesting. It's got some tones to it. I'm just getting an old piece of cardboard and some metallic. Come on. I'm just going to grab it out of here like that. I keep meaning to go buy paint and I keep forgetting to. I have been working a lot, so please forgive me. I'm going to get a lot of that off there, a lot of that off there. And I'm going to come around with this smaller kind of dry brush. I'm going to hit some of this metal edges. I'm going to hit that grading kind of. Do a lot of work on that I-beam with this. I'm going to hit these railings a little bit. Some of this crap. Around the edges of some of this different stuff here. I'm going to come and hit these rungs a little bit. Come around the corners on that. Yeah, hit the tops of these railings. People are leaning against them and putting weapons on them and stuff like that. I'm pretty pleased. Looks scrappy. Let's just give them different ways for light to reflect off it and give it some different color too. It's not hurting anything, it's just using up that little bit of silver I got left, that's all. Okay. So you could stop there. You really don't need to do anything else. You really could. There it is as a freestanding, scatter. There it is as a tower. I would like to maybe do something exciting on these studs to make them pop. I'm just going to use this really bright silver I have. I do have a Walmart version of silver this bright, but it doesn't pop. And I'm just going to come here and hit some of these rivets. Maybe not all of them, just the ones I want to. Ones that I think will look nice. The ones that will appreciate it. I'm going to do the edge of this M. I'm going to do 3 scratch marks here. Nobody's going to be scratching metal most likely, but it could happen. I think that's all we need to do. There's a little spot here where we burn a hole in that straw, clean it off stuff. We'll make that look like that too. Then we'll just come up here. I'm going to just make a little bit of metal in that grease. So that looks good. We could oil this up too, but I don't want to mess with it. I'm done. So anyways, all you need to do is hit this with a clear coat. I don't need to show you how to do that. Let's make sure we still have a fit for our model. So everybody says. Yep. And so everybody says. Yep. Perfect. That's all we needed. Hey, everybody. There you go. It's a nice piece of scatter that you can double as a tower. You can tell some different stories with it, and you can use it more than once. And you can move it around on battlefields, because anytime there could have been a tank somewhere or whatever, like tank, like not like an army tank, but like a tank of fuel or whatever, this would be good for that. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. And yeah. Oh, hey. For more crafting tips, make sure you play this video in reverse. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon, and for God's sake, leave a comment. I love comments. We'll see you next time. Boop, boop.